Yo. What's up, everybody? What a crazy night we had last night. And NBA was wild, man. It was really wild. It was a wild night. Thank you all for tuning in, man. I couldn't be more happier. Thanks for the support. If you haven't liked or subscribed, at least you ain't got, if you haven't even subscribed to this to my channel, I suggest you do. And I suggest that you, if you are subscribed or you're getting ready to subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a video out of the blue. I can upload anything. Sometimes like closer, I've been thinking about uploading videos closer to lock after I get a lot of news where I can point out, like a quick video where I can point out some value plays and who's benefited from this and that. Because as we all know, the NBA slate doesn't start until at least 2 hours before lock. You have to literally be glued back and forth from like Twitter, NBA Twitter, NBA Fantasy Labs, NBA, just checking on the news every time they tweet out so you can have the quickest edge up on the field and, stuff like that. So you could, make sure it's vital that you hit the notification bell and you subscribe. Don't even worry about the like. So we got a 3-game slate, 2 and 3 game slate. I usually don't even touch on it, man. But I'm gonna breeze through this real fast. I'm just gonna give my thoughts on these couple players and I'm gone. I ain't here to lecture. I don't have none of the studs showing. And by the way, this is Draft Dashboard, a site that I'm getting acclimated with, that I'm going to be integrating in some my videos. Nice site, beautiful site. You can try this site for $1 for 30 days. If you don't like it, you can stop the subscription. Stop it, exit, quit it, cut it. Get that shit, if you don't like it. Kicking it right off. I got how many players I got right here? We're just gonna go straight through them. Like I said, I just want to give my thoughts on these couple players because these are the players we're gonna need to help us fill out these spots. Centered around the stud that you're looking for. This is my yes or maybe my no on some of these players. And starting off, they're in no particular order, so I'm just gonna go. Mitchell Robinson, right here. What we want when we play DFS, we want upside on our price tags. So you'll get Mitchell Robinson going up against going up against Golden State. New York going against Golden State, hopefully that should be a good game. A nice amount of fantasy points to go around would be nice. But anyway, 5,600 on Fanduel and he's 6K on Draftkings. He hits value at this price about over 50% of the time, about 53, 54% of the time. So, that's a little bit over half. We look for upside on that price tag, especially in tournaments, man. 6 and 7X, it's doable. The minutes are there as he's playing well and he stays out of foul trouble, he can do that. I don't mind the play. Draymond Green, in the same game. 5,400 on FanDuel, 5,500 on DraftKings, similar priced. We know what we're getting with Draymond. He just does the other things. The rebounds, he'll be 9 times out of 10, he'll be asked to guard Julius Randle. Similar type of players. Julius Randle a little better. But Draymond, he's a high energy guy. point forward type of guy. He can give you rebounds and assists, and of course occasionally hit a three and score a few baskets for you. So a big time plus for Stephen Curry when he's on the floor. I don't mind the play on either side. Julius Randle. He's priced at $9K on Fanduel, $8,800 on DraftKings. He's under $9K on DraftKings. Somebody who could stuff the stat sheet, you already know. We was about to pay $10K for him when he was hot as fuck. So don't forget about Julius Randle. Somebody you can buy low on. In this matchup against the Golden State Warriors, we got to use our head in this slate. There's more people on the slate than these guys at the top, Man, so, pivots like this can really, help you in the long run. It's 2-game slate is one thing, but 3-game slate, you got some wiggle room. So, Julius Randle, he's definitely in play. Zion Williamson. Last game on that 2-game slate, last time they played on the 2-game slate, I faded Zion Williamson. I faded everybody from the New Orleans side of the ball. I was scared as hell. I didn't play none of them. Him or Nickeil Alexander-Walker or Brandon Ingram. Will I do that today? I don't know. I honestly don't know. His price is sexy on DraftKings at $7,700. He's $8K on FanDuel. I don't mind the play, man. I don't mind the play. I would love to see a 50 out of him. I don't like the pace of this. I don't like the pace that neither one of these teams play at, though. I just don't like that. But the usage is there for him. And he gets a little bit more rebounds than Ingram and things like that, So I'm on the fence. But if I'm looking to buy low during this on this slate, I don't have no problem with pivoting, from off of a LeBron or anything like that to be, trying to be cute. But don't try to be cute like me, man. I do some wild shit in tournaments. When I lose, I go sit my dumb ass in the corner somewhere. Kyle Kuzma, he's in consideration, especially on FanDuel. On FanDuel, he's $4,200. On DraftKings, he's $5K. So I prefer him on FanDuel. Thing about FanDuel is, can you afford to miss in that power forward slot? Kyle Kuzma might be asked to guard a lot of ABC. So, but it can go both ways. His last 3 games, he had 25, 30, and 22 fantasy points. Do we think that's enough? Is yet to remain to be seen. Moving on down the line. More of a DraftKings play for me is Andrew Wiggins, $7K, $6,200 on DraftKings. That's where I like him at, DraftKings. The usage is there for him. His last 3 fantasy outputs, last 3 games was a 30. He had a 26 and a 27. Going up against New York though, and we looking for upside on our price tag. 5 times value on FanDuel would be 35 fantasy points. We want to maximize our situations and get upside on our price tag. So, if we look at him on DraftKings at $6,200, he might be an easier tag. We know he has upside, 40 fantasy point upside, close to 50. We know that. Moving on over to Elfrid Payton. One of the most frustrated players in the league. Elfrid Payton. The GPP option. He'll give you 30 fantasy points, and then the next 3 games he'll give you 20, 25. He can give you, he got 50-point upside. You know what I'm saying? If he's playing well, the minute's gonna be there. They get Burks back today. New York Knicks. So, he might be limited, but in tournaments, you have to put him in Peyton in one of those lineups that you just, you have to make a separate lineup for him, man. Moving on over to Brook Lopez. 5,300 on Fanduel, 5,100 on DraftKings. I don't mind him on either site. We know he can give you a 35 or 40. That's good upside on that price tag. Going up against those LA Lakers. So we got some good rebounders between both of those teams, the Milwaukee and the Lakers. So don't look for him to get a lot of rebounds. So I'm gonna tell you that right now. He likes to play like a two guard, so he's pulling up at the 3-point line a lot. His fantasy output the last 3 games is 31, 29, and 34. Minutes been there, 33, 33, and 29. It is what it is. The pace, I don't like the pace of the game that Lakers play. It's going to be a chess match. Hopefully it'll be a good game. He's in play. You can find better options, so be it. Eric Bledsoe. Mr. Can't hit a shot. 4,700 on Fanduel, 5,300 on DraftKings, man. If you want to go to him on Fanduel. That's all I got to say. He's priced cheap. We know what he can do. He can, if you're feeling froggy, if you feel like he's feeling froggy, jump on him. Lonzo Ball. Interesting play right here. He missed a few games. Came back and dropped 23 fantasy points. He's 5,500 on both sites. He only played 23 minutes the last game, though. What do you think? I think I might have to take a stab at this guy right here, man. For some reason, I might have to take a stab at it, and then I might not. I still got time. But what I can say is we know he has upside on that price tag. They really need him to win this game. Some easier shots, stuff like that. Help the offense flow a little better, especially against this Utah team. Now moving over to Jrue Holiday. This is a play that I actually like. Now you'll get him at 7,600 on Fanduel, but on DraftKings you'll get him at 6,600. And that's when we're talking. I got to talk about Jrue Holiday for the simple fact that he's underrated. Some nights you're going to say he's overrated, whatever, whatnot. But I know what this boy can do. And I know he's going to be needed tonight. Jrue Holiday can very well go out there and bust some ass. He probably will see some defense from Schroeder. Yeah. Bring your ass here. ABC happened to get in foul trouble. ABC known to get those offensive fouls. He be OC sometimes, going through the middle of that lane. Then he got some. Listen. Don't sleep on Jrue. I done lobbied for this man. Y'all gonna kill me. I'm going to have him, though. Don't trip. Bojan Bogdanovic. Priced at $5K on both sites. He hasn't had a 30-point game in about 7 games, man. It's a rematch. You got to do better. I like him. He's in play. On both sites at $5K. Joe Jingles. 4,400 on Fanduel, 4,300 on DraftKings. He was out a couple games, came back, played 18 minutes, but he had 25 fantasy points. Something to consider. You want to pivot off of Bogdanovic? There's Joe Ingles. You can buy low on him right now, hoping you can catch a streak and ride him from this game in a couple more games. Simple. Now, this is one of my favorite plays right along with Drew Holiday. Kelly Oubre Jr. When this boy get going, he gets going. His last 2 games against New York, he gave them 46 and 32 fantasy points. Of course, his role was much different. But now that he's on Golden State, and his last 3 games with Golden State, he had 36, 40, and 28 fantasy points. And playing upwards of 30 minutes. And starting to run with the second unit a little more. 5,600 on Fanduel. 5,700 on Draftkings. You can sign me up. RJ Barrett. I'm from Chicago. I like Tibbs. So he one of the Tibbs boys, you know. We had Tibbs over here in Chicago. We all know Tibbs throw the minutes at you. You know what I'm saying? Throw more minutes at you that you can handle. He coming in at 6,700 on FanDuel, 6,900 on DraftKings. All this is what do you want to play him or not? He played 34, 27, 20. He had 34, 27, and 30 fantasy points the last 3 games. He had 40, 39, and 31 fantasy points the last 3 games. So there you have it. He definitely can provide you some upside on that price tag. It's just a matter of fact, going up against this Golden State squad, if you think they can keep up and stay in it, then fire him up. He's going to take the shots. The usage ain't no thing. He's close to 30% usage every game. Montrezl Harrell. Somebody who I ain't played all damn year. He's starting to ramp it up a little bit. Last 3 games, he had a 34, 27, and a 30. Played 28, 20, 24 minutes. We all know he can put the fantasy points up in a hurry. He over a fantasy point, just about 1.1 fantasy points a minute. Type of guy. $6K on FanDuel, but the sexy price is $5,200 on DraftKings. Do you think his services will be needed early and often? If you do, fire him up, man. I don't mind the price on either site, but he's just somebody who I haven't been getting to. It's plain and simple. Moving over to Dante DiVincenzo. This was a guy that'll give you blue balls. He that first quarter, he hit your ass like he hit the opponents like they don't know what's happening. But the second, third, and fourth, you don't even hear from him no more. Like, where you go? 4,400 on FanDuel, 4,900 on DraftKings. If you need some value, there you go. Donovan Mitchell. One of my favorite plays. For the simple fact of the usage alone. You're gonna get him at 8,200 on FanDuel, but you get him under 8K at 7,900 on DK. His last 3 fantasy points outputs, he had 37, 40, 37, and 42. Playing over 30 minutes a game. Usage is through the roof, over 30%. And, he's someone, like his last 3 versus New Orleans, was 37 and 44 and 59. What you think he's going to give him tonight? We don't know. We got to see. He's definitely in play for me and a whole bunch of other people. And last but not least, Wiseman. Somebody who I went to last night. Somebody who I got faith in. It's just the roster construction between both of these sites. You got DraftKings, you got FanDuel. Can you afford to miss on FanDuel at the center spot? No, you can't. On DraftKings, you can play 2 centers and you can miss at 1, but you're not supposed to miss at none. But you get my drift. 4,400 on FanDuel, 4,500 on DraftKings. Had a nice night last night. I had them. I did not cash on either site. How sway. But it's another day. 33 fantasy points. Then he had 9 fantasy. Then he had 9 fantasy points. And then, because he got in foul trouble, then he had 35 fantasy points. So the love is starting to get there. Somebody that you can jump on early, like I did. I've been on them for those last 3 games. I've been riding them. That's what I like to do. When I miss the train, then it's hard for me to jump on. You know what I'm saying? So, like, subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell, y'all. Make sure, because you don't want to miss out on none of the content. Peace.